think every gardener's done it before. You walk into your backyard, you start looking at your plants, and you notice yellowing leaves. And your first reaction, as always, is to add fertilizer. Could it be magnesium? Could it be nitrogen? Could it be chlorosis? You don't know. You don't care. You add fertilizer, it does nothing. Today's video, we're going to look at why new leaves yellow, why old leaves yellow, when to be concerned, when not to be concerned, kind of everything else in between. And if you don't know who I am, hi, hello, my name's Ashley. I have a bachelor's of science in soil science. I like to take said science and I sure as heck like to apply it to the garden. And this video, hands down, is a video that must be done because the amount of yellow leaves I get photo-wise from the Geek Crew, which if you want to be part of the Geek Crew, you just hit that subscribe button, is enormous. And so I want to actually walk you through what's going on so I can just refer you to a video rather than, unfortunately, ignoring your DMs if that's what happens, because I'm getting an enormous amount every single day. And I love every single one of you. And so I feel absolutely horrible when I can't answer every single DM. It eats me up inside. So this allows me to do that. And then I can just say, let me know if you have any questions. So here's number one. Leaves are expensive and plants are like cutthroat, capitalistic menaces to the plant world. If a leaf stops being able to kind of pull its weight, it gets rejected. Now, this can happen because maybe the plant's leaf has become old, and this old leaf, in turn, doesn't have the same photosynthetic power that the newer leaves have. That'd be one reason to get rid of it. Another reason could actually be due to mechanical damage, pest damage, disease damage. You get the idea. All of these things make that leaf less effective at doing its job, which in turn means that it's not being able to pull its weight and therefore it needs to be removed. So I think question number one, and what you need to answer first off if you're seeing yellowing leaves is what can a plant actually, so the question number one is what can the plant tell you about the leaf? So things to look for. Is it at the bottom of the plant? If it is, this rule is only in place when we're talking about a plant that is aging. So something you transplanted here in May or June, going into July, if those bottom leaves are yellowing, and we're talking just like 2 or 3 of them, it's probably a sign that leaf is just old and it's time to go. Number 2 is if there's an enormous amount of mechanical damage. The mechanical damage can be caused from a number of different things. Wind, heavy rain, hail, bugs, dogs, kids, you, foot traffic from wildlife, other plants rubbing up against it too much. They like to get kind of freaky sometimes. Anything like that are all signs of mechanical damage. This mechanical damage, if it is severe enough, generally speaking, rule of thumb, 30% or more of the surface area of that leaf, and the plant may choose to actually get rid of it because it's not pulling its weight any longer. This is less likely to happen with newer leaves because that photosynthetic power, if you will, the oomph, is a little higher than the older leaves. So mechanical damage and its intensity, less intense on older leaves, may cause this yellowing much sooner versus a newer leaf that has a lot of mechanical damage on it. It's going to take a little bit more damage for it to actually kind of decide that it's time to go. Now, the next thing to actually keep in the back of your mind is the leaves coloring of yellow is not necessarily meaning that that plant's leaf is completely useless. You see this all the time in the swear word called fall. I'm sorry to talk about that so early here. But vegetable plants, flowers, that sort of thing will actually do this sooner in the year at times. If you did not know, the green in a plant is caused by chlorophyll. And chlorophyll has nutrients such as magnesium and nitrogen in particular, but there's a number of other ones that help make that green, if you will. There's crow court being held on that tree behind me, so I apologize. I cannot interrupt it. I do not have the gavel to do that. So in the name of trying to be an influencer with a full-time job, I'm just going to continue onwards. But with that being said, as the leaf transitions to yellow, if it's transitioning to yellow just due to age and not due to like a pest issue, or if it's even just transitioning yellow due to mechanical damage and not due to a pest problem or a disease, you may just want to leave it in place because that discoloration the plant is doing is it's draining that nutrients out of the leaf that is turning yellow and then redirecting it to the rest of the plant. So you're just lobbing off a plant leaf that's starting to turn yellow, particularly if it's completely fine otherwise, no disease, no pests, and just some mechanical damage or age, yes, it looks ugly, but the truth is that the plant is trying to use the nutrients from that. So let the plant do that if it doesn't bug you too much, because it's free fertilizer. So the plant is smart and they're incredibly effective and efficient at what they're doing. And if it doesn't bother you, just kind of let it do its own thing. The key there again is no disease and no pests. If you got either one of those situations happening at the same time as the yellowing leaf, remove it just so it doesn't spread. Yes, the plant is still technically taking nutrients from that leaf, but it's kind of pick your poison type situation. This giant castor bean plant leaf I grew from seed makes me so happy inside. But anyways, this is a new leaf, relatively new leaf. It's the 4th newest leaf. There is a newer leaf in here that I hope, sorry for the swear word, will trump these 2 leaves, but we'll see what happens. I'm joking. I don't do politics at all. That's going to get people fired up and I apologize. But I digress. Nonetheless, that rhymed. New leaves turning yellow is a little bit concerning. Now, while these are very happy and healthy, I just want to kind of show you these jumbo size ones. But let's look at a pepper plant that has exactly this issue. Back to the first part of this video. This pepper plant, you may not be able to see it in the video, but it's a little bit yellow. There's some stuff going on there. And here's the thing. These are yellow throughout. The new leaves are yellow and not just the old leaves. And it's when new leaves are yellow that alarm bells should ring, particularly if we're not seeing mechanical damage, again, due to all the factors we spoke about. I won't list them out again. This one here has mechanical damage due to some sort of pest of some sort, and that is why we can see some of that kind of yellowing. This one here doesn't have mechanical damage due to, well, I guess maybe this one does, but these ones don't. It's just yellowing in general. So what does this point to? It points to a nutrient deficiency, but I want you to just kind of step back a little bit here. If you've kind of followed this channel and you followed kind of all the rules in regards to fertilizer placement, organic or conventional, you follow the directions in regards to fertilizing on, a weekly or biweekly basis with a liquid fertilizer, or if you just, that your soil is just not that old, it really shouldn't be having those issues, or it's like fresh potting soil, etc. and so forth, then it shouldn't be a nutrient issue. If you don't know, the best solution is to fertilize it. And then you have to wait. You have to wait till the newest growth starts. And you have to wait for signs that the newest growth is having issues and is turning out kind of this lighter green as well. If it doesn't come out light green and it comes out dark green, you know what your problem is. It's a nutrient issue. Now, I'm not going to get into too much of the science of what nutrient could be the issue, because there is mobilizing nutrients, immobilizing nutrients. And so depending, like new leaves, generally speaking, turning yellow is due to very mobile nutrients, not the immobile nutrient, but I digress. If the fertilizer does absolutely nothing, the next thing to actually look at is the environment that the plant is in. So this one is in a self-watering container, which I swear by, a 5-gallon pail, which I swear by for peppers. But what I did not do and have not done is touch the soil in any capacity. Now, I'm relatively confident it's not a nutrient issue. It could be, but I'm not on the fence as to whether or not that's the case. What I do think it is a root issue. So this soil has been in there for a while. It probably needs a refresh in regards to perlite. Because it's in a self-watering container, it needs to be a very light, fluffy, aerated soil. Perlite's really the only way to make that happen, and I haven't replaced that perlite in this container. So what's likely the case is that the roots are suffocating. There's less oxygen means less nutrient uptake, results in plants that are showing signs of reduced nutrients or nutrient deficiency. There's a number of different reasons for this. It could also be the weather. Yes, it is July. And yes, I am wearing a bunny hug, or as the rest of the world would like to call it, that is just a Saskatchewan word. I'm sorry. But a sweater, a zip up, a hoodie. And it's not just light hoodie. She's thick. She's thick and I'm still cold because it just doesn't want to warm up here. It will not stop raining. The night times are cold. The daytimes are cold. And this is delaying flowering. It's delaying fruiting. And it is stunting growth and reducing the uptake of nutrients. If there's not enough light, if there's not enough heat, the plant doesn't need it. And therefore, it kind of goes into the pseudo state and things start turning yellow and just going to absolute garbage. So, yellowing leaves, when is it time to worry? So, number one, it's not time to worry if it's those bottom leaves. Like I said, leave them in place if at all possible because they're actually drawing nutrients back into the plant. Eventually, they'll fall off, desiccate, die, and they're kind of done their job. So, don't worry if they're older leaves. You can worry if over 30% of your plant is starting to turn yellow due to mechanical damage, pest damage, disease damage, etc., and so forth. That is the time that you may want to defoliate the plant selectively or apply like some sort of preventative measure. Milk for powdery mildew. I personally really like this really smelly stuff that I cannot remember. Bobex. Bobex is the name of it. If I forget, let me know in the comments down below, but I will link it. It's not meant for like cucumber beetles or flea beetles or anything like that, or aphids. It's meant for like rabbits and deer and dogs and cats. But let me tell you, it works for everything. And it's like fermented garlic, cayenne pepper, and a whole bunch of other crazy, nasty stuff. So it's completely organic, works fantastically. Milk for powdery mildew works really well, expired or otherwise, yogurt, that sort of thing, if it's disease. So that is if it's over 30%, maybe time to worry. The new leaves being yellow is what genuinely should concern you. That plant I just showed you, I'm kind of concerned. That one's probably not going to do that good this year at all. There's probably no saving that situation, to be completely honest with you, particularly if it does not decide to heat up. But if it is new leaves that are kind of causing issues, I heavily encourage initially, if you're unsure, fertilizing. If you're very sure of your fertilizing practices and you do not believe that is the case, ensure the watering is correct. Make sure you're not underwatering. Underwatering does and will show up as a nutrient deficiency. No questions asked. Overwatering also will cause a nutrient deficiency, but I will say overwatering, unless it's even a self-watering bucket that has no aeration in it, is very rare in an outdoor situation. In bed, raised bed containers, very rarely, if ever, have I seen overwatering take place. There are rare circumstances there, such as like a really heavy clay in-ground bed that's at the bottom of a hill, that it can happen in. But otherwise, it seems to be okay. If your watering seems fine, you think your soil seems fine, the plant seems disease-free, and those new leaves are still causing issues, it's time to look into things like the soil pH, soil temperature, daytime, nighttime temps, that sort of thing. The amount of sun, too much sun, not enough sun. Those sort of things can also cause very similar issues, but those you'll have to experiment and be your own garden scientist for. With that being said, if you want to know the most ridiculous tomato hacks on the internet, then this is the video here, and all of them are just absolutely garbage. And that is what Google says you should watch next. And I will talk to you guys next time.